4, 15, 23, 24, 21. 28-32 The Hebrew word swear middle.va is evidently from the same root as the word meaning 7. The Sabbath was celebrated as a sacred day. 5. 12. A day of rest and rejoicing for all Israelites, servants, alien residents, and animals, ceasing from all labors. Isra 58. 13, 14. Ho 2. 11. X 20. 10. 34. 21. De 5. 12-15. J 17. 21, 24 A special burnt offering, along with grain and drink offerings, was made, in addition to the regular daily constant burnt offering. New 28. 9, 10 The showbread was renewed in the sanctuary, and a new division of priests took up their duties. La 24. 5-9. 1 ch 9. 32. 2 ch 23. 4 Priestly duties were not curtailed on the Sabbath. Mount 12. 5. And infants were even circumcised on the Sabbath, if that happened to be their 8th day of life. In later times the Jews had a saying, "There is no Sabbath in the sanctuary," meaning that the priestly duties went right on. Joe 7. 22. La 12. 2, 3. The Temple, by Ayadishim, 1874, p. 152. According to rabbinic sources, in the time when Jesus was on earth 3 trumpet blasts at about the 9th hour, or 3 o'clock, on Friday afternoon announced the Sabbath day's approach. At this, all work and business were to cease, the Sabbath lamp was lit, and festive garments were put on. Then 3 more blasts indicated that Sabbath had actually begun. The outgoing division of priests offered the morning sacrifice on the Sabbath, and the incoming division offered the evening sacrifice, both spending Sabbath in the sanctuary. Each one of the divisions would give to the high priest half of its portion of the bread. It was eaten during the Sabbath in the temple itself by the priests who were in a state of cleanness. The heads of the families of the incoming division determined by lot which of the families were to serve on each special day of their week of ministry and who were to discharge the priestly functions on the Sabbath. La 24. 8, 9. Mr. 2. 26, 27. The Temple, pages 151, 152, 156-158. There was a distinction in requirements for the regular weekly Sabbath and the Sabbaths or holy conventions that were connected with the festivals. La 23. 20 Text acute Miritra Longo, Sabbath day 832 Husband when she requested permission to go to see Elisha, the man of God. Why are you going to him today? It is not a new moon nor a Sabbath. 2 Kai 4. 22, 23 And the Levites who were scattered throughout the land doubtless took advantage of the Sabbath to teach the law to the people of Israel. The 33. 8, 10. La 10. 11. It was important for individual Israelites to remember to keep the Sabbath, because violation was regarded as rebellion against Jehovah and was punished by death. X 31. 14, 15. New 15. 32-36 The same principle applied to the nation. Their observing the entire Sabbath system, days and years, in a wholehearted way was a vital factor to their continued existence as a nation on their God-given land. Their failure to honor the Sabbath laws contributed largely to their downfall and the desolation of the land of Judah for 70 years to make up for the Sabbaths violated. La 26. 31-35. 2 ch 36. 20, 21. Rabbinic Sabbath restrictions. The Sabbath was originally intended to be a joyous, spiritually upbuilding time. But in their zeal to distinguish themselves from the Gentiles as much as possible, the Jewish religious leaders, especially after the return from Babylonian exile, gradually made it a burdensome thing by greatly increasing the Sabbath restrictions to 39, with innumerable lesser restrictions. These, when compiled, filled 2 large volumes. For example, catching a flea was forbidden as hunting. A sufferer could not be given relief unless death threatened. A bone could not be set, nor a sprain bandaged. The true purpose of the Sabbath was made void by these Jewish religious leaders, for they made the people slaves to tradition, instead of having the Sabbath serve men to the honor of God. Mount 15. 3, 6. 23. 2-4. Mr. 2. 27. When Jesus' disciples picked grain and rubbed it in their hands to eat, they evidently were accused on 2 counts, namely, harvesting and threshing on the Sabbath. Luke 6. 1, 2. The rabbis had a saying: the sins of everyone who strictly observes every law of the Sabbath, though he be an idol worshipper, are forgiven. Not enjoined on Christians. Jesus, being a Jew under the law, observed the Sabbath as God's word, not the Pharisees directed. He knew it was lawful to do fine things on the Sabbath. Mount 12. 12. However, the inspired Christian writings state that Christ is the end of the law. 10. 4, which results in Christians being discharged from the law. 7.